So today I want to talk briefly about a concept called personal agency. And what that really means is it's the ability to act in the environment that you're in with as sort of a maximal amount of autonomy and capability. Now, there's legit psychological definitions of agency, and for those interested in the subject, I recommend you go look them up. But when it comes to our purposes, it's easy enough to say um, the the acquisition of agency in as many different environments as possible should be the intent of the master mason. So when you put on that apron, you're looking to identify what your opportunities are for growth and development of agency. So an example here is learning new skills. Obviously, an easy example. So we want to learn as many skills as we reasonably can as master masons to essentially increase our capability as workmen. Those skills, including the intrapersonal stuff, the stuff inside you, understanding your own sort of emotional content, understanding your own space, um, understanding what's going on and how you respond, and noticing trends and themes, is something we've talked about quite a bit here on the podcast. But one of the things that should be your constant care is the acquisition of more light there. Understanding what that means for you personally and what that looks like is the product of a couple of things. So, how does one acquire agency, and how do you know where to go, and sort of what to add to the toolkit? So, there are some sort of cornerstone, keystone skills for things like agency. The first one is the ability, at some level, to conduct a honest self-analysis. Honest self-analysis is really, really quite difficult, and it takes some time. I think you'll find with most folks, that the honesty comes not as a true-false kind of switch, but more as a gradient, where you can be more and more honest with yourself as you advance your understanding. So when you start looking at things like the other cornerstone skills, honesty is going to be, that self analysis, that honest self analysis is going to be pretty key as you move forward, because it's from there that you get to really start to evaluate any other feedback you're going to get, any other sort of environmental data that you're going to see in, as you pursue additional skills and things like that. So, honest self-analysis is the first. Level of emotional intelligence is right up there as well, and that means being able to understand how you're feeling, being able to understand how others are feeling, being able to manage and manipulate your own emotions as needed, and being able to manage and manipulate the emotions of others, in a light side of the Force Jedi kind of way. So uh, those two are probably the best starting point. So if you're stuck and trying to figure out how to develop personal agency, start there. If you've got those sorted out, the other skills that you'll want to start to address, the interpersonal social skills, um, stuff like that, you'll be able to approach those additional skills. All the other ones, language, mechanical, mathematical, pick your skill set. All of those you'll be able to approach with a real strong foundation, knowing that you are both not lying to yourself on a regular basis, and that you understand your own emotional content well enough to know when your feelings are deep seated and sort of quasi, I would say permanent, but um, coming from a longer term timeline, or when they are sort of weather based and something that will pass. So as you pursue your master mason's work, grab those two skills first, for sure. I say grab them in a almost cavalier context, but they are literally the hardest skills to get, and it's going to be a lifetime to get to sort of the highest levels of those, and you may never ever get to the top. That's kind of the perpetual perfection we're pursuing. So um, the other skills that are going to come along the way, we'll cover some of those in other episodes, but there are like with any skill, there's going to be tons of little overlaps and nuance and things like that. So not to be dismissive about any of it. There is some other really deep and important skills that you're going to pick up along the way, and we'll get to those in another episode.